Segment 3, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine. Want to remind everybody that, of course, we always emphasize judicial races. Jewish Chicago will be coming out before the start of early voting in late February. Make sure you take a look out for it. Of the 9 guests we had in today's filming for 3 different shows, 6 are sitting judges. One is running for judge. Was a judicial blogger, and 1 semi-normal person. And it is now my pleasure to introduce you to a sitting judge recently appointed in the 9th Subcircuit, and that is Lionel Jean-Baptiste.
Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Well, first of all, thank you, Your Honor. I'm glad you contacted me, and I want to thank Larry Sufferton because he's the one that spoke to you.
Yeah, Larry's a very good friend of mine, and a great supporter. So I was happy to really seize the opportunity to be on your show. I have watched a few of your segments on YouTube.
Oh, thank you.
And, I think it's a good thing for the judicial candidates to be exposed as widely as possible. I don't think enough of that is being done.
I agree. People don't begin to realize. I mean, you're talking about, things like divorce, your home, foreclosures, criminal charges, could be your life, your family, anything.
Yeah, I mean, judges really impact a lot, particularly these days in the midst of the economic crisis. When you talk about foreclosures, over 50% of the judgments that decides to foreclose homes goes forward without the presence of the defendant. So you've got, and plus you have tremendous number of thousands of foreclosures going on. So judges have to constantly be mindful of that kind of interest and impact that they have on the whole society. Right now, for many in the middle class are being impoverished because the main investment, the equity that they've had in their homes are disappearing. And judges really stand between, that decision that could make you homeless and a decision that could give you some time to try to reorganize your life. So in that realm, that's true. And then family law, that's an important area where judges impact. I sit in the traffic division primarily. That's where most new judges sit. And realistically, a lot of people, I think, minimizes the impact of that division. But that division deals with DUIs. Many have been impacted by the policies or the propensity of people to drive under the influence. And you need strong judges who take strong positions against that kind of behavior. As well, a lot of people take advantage of driving on suspended license. There are a number of issues that go on driving without insurance. And, I've experienced firsthand situations where I've been in an accident where the other side does not have insurance.
Wow.
And so if you suffer damages, then what happened? If you have enough insurance, you can cover. But for those who do not themselves have insurance or only had liability, then they suffer the consequences, and the consequences sometimes are permanent. So it's very important that the judges in that division take into consideration the best interests of society as they move processes forward and as they apply the law. So,
yeah, as a matter of fact, my brother was when he was a kid, was hit by an uninsured driver and almost passed away. He was in the hospital for quite a while with substantial bills, and basically it all came out of my dad's pocket.
Yes, I mean, that's what happens.
Tell us about your background a little bit.
Well, I was born in Haiti. I grew up there for the first 14 years of my life. I came to the United States and primarily have lived in the Evanston area. Although I came into the United States in Washington, D.C., I was only there for about 3 months. And then my family moved to Evanston where we had other relatives. I grew up on my mother's side. I have 5 sisters. Came from a family of high expectations, strong parents, and so they really prioritize the issue of education. My mother worked in a factory. My stepdad, who raised me, worked as a maintenance man. However, before they would pay for me to go to join the Y, et cetera, they paid for me to go to enhance my education. My first year in high school was at St. George. Many may not remember St. George. My sisters all went to St. Mary's. I was at St. Mary's too for part of my junior high years. But they were willing to make that kind of investment. I graduated from Evanston Township High School, where I was a soccer player, all-state. I was on the all-star team, and we were state champ. I often brag to my relative that my picture is still on the wall at Evanston Township High School. And when I graduated from ETHS, I went to Princeton University.
Nice.
It was a great privilege to be able to access that kind of quality of education. I attained a BA degree in political science and a minor in African American history. And I worked in the public sector in the city of New York. I met my wife in college. We have 3 wonderful children. I have 3 grandchildren now. All my kids have gone on to college. A couple of them are pursuing a master's right now. But I worked in the public sector, and I've also taught at the level of elementary school and community college in New York. When I returned to the Chicago area in 1984, I enrolled in law school at Chicago-Kent College of Law, and I graduated from there in 1990, and I've been practicing since then. My work in the legal profession has spanned many disciplines, domestic relations, I've done real estate transactions, I've done probate, immigration law, personal injury. So my experience is broad in terms of exposure to the law.
Yeah, we're starting to run out of time, but I also want to mention that you were alderman for a number of
I
years.
was an alderman for 10 years. I was elected 3 times, 3 terms, but when I was appointed in February of 2011, then I resigned my position and another individual took over.
At this point, you want to give us your website and how people can contact you?
My website is Jean-Baptiste for Judge at jeanbaptisteforjudge.org. You can contact me there. The phone number to my headquarters is 847-424-0400.
Judge Lionel Jean-Baptiste, I want to thank you very much. We're running overtime now. Sonny, I want to thank you very much, my entire technical crew, and good luck.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.